Hello everybody, welcome back to Language Litigation and Integration Part 15, the easiest revolution ever. It's getting close to Thanksgiving. I hope everyone's enjoying their dead friends and family members. I know I am. We just buried my grandfather. We had a service for my grandfather who passed away from COVID. And then we're on the waiting list to have his burial at Arlington's National Cemetery for the military. My grandfather was a Bronze Star serviceman. He flew in the Air Force. But imagine that. I'm literally going to be burying my grandfather, as human beings can't open their mouths and speak without demonstrating the things I put on science, and the country's served our country's cemetery. What's the point of the military again? To defend American rights. What American rights do I have? So it's really fun Thanksgiving for me. But again, just no one fucking cares. There's no rules, there's no laws, there's no decency, there's no humanity. There's a bunch of insecure fucking apes on a planet who can watch suffering death of other people and say, well, not my fucking family, have a nice day. So, the moment of death, bum bum bum. We're going to be talking about, if someone has a heart attack today, why not tomorrow? Why not 5 minutes ago? What's really the breakdown from I'm walking around fine today till I'm dead tomorrow? Just different thoughts and ideas I have about biology, pharmacology, nutrition, health in general. I have up here COVID, disease, and mortality. We'll just go through it on that section. We'll talk about pathetic people's behavior in general, just things that you'll see all over the place every time today, that again, not pathetic people behavior. I'm trying to make a YouTube video to mock people, which I fully support mocking and shaming people, but pathetic people behavior that results in dead human beings. We'll be talking about denial at face value. In the last episode, we talked. I've been doing this, getting denied at face value literally my entire life. The Dunning-Kruger effect I've seen against Eric Weinstein and these other podcast fuckers. Yeah, give me the Dunning-Kruger. Dunning-Kruger's not like I say a bunch of really smart stuff. You say a bunch of stupid shit for 60 years, and I say, why the fuck is that there? And then people go, oh, wow. The only reason there's any sort of wow factor to me past my actual capacity is because I've been neglected since childhood. You would have had publication of these math proofs literally when I'm 12 or 14, and you would have seen me build up my physical intuition. So the big wow factor for me is how fucked up other people are. So we'll be just going through stories again. Professional denial. Not me not getting the girl I want. Not me not getting the job I want. Being 800 IQ points past everybody else, and people just getting scared and fear and hate and resentment, and then saying, suffer and die like a dirty fucking animal. At a professional level. Politics, the election, and humanity has failed. I'll talk briefly just about the government, some ideas of socialism or capitalism, just common arguments again that are illiterate fucking retards. They can't actually think. They're not actually educated. All they did was play sports all day, flick their clits, jerk their dicks, and try to fucking make a little bit of money. And they failed so tremendously bad. They're just so butt fucking uneducated they can't think for 5 seconds. But I'm also going to talk about what I truly think should happen for what has occurred to me. I don't really, like I said, I support the death penalty in general, but I'm not super strict on that. But like I said, the law enforcement, all full maximum sentences, go fuck yourself, have a nice day. Academics, full sentences, fuck you, have a nice day. And if you guys don't do that, you will watch the largest scale crime that has ever committed, and all those losers, all those disgusting fucking people who think they're law people, who think they support what's right, who think they support, again, anything about patriotism or the Constitution. I have served this country and this planet and this species in ways no one else fucking could. And I can't pay my bills comfortably. I can't sleep at night. I still have an ear infection. That was back in July. I literally can't, I sleep on the right side of my head. I can't put my head down and sleep at night because of the stress, and then I have an ear infection, so that makes it just better. I do not have access to healthcare. I do not have access to police. I do not have access to courts. I do not have access to business people because of this fraud. So, let's jump in. So the moment of death. What causes the body to collectively say, okay, I've had cancer for so long, now's the day I'm going to shut down. I have a blood clot for so long, now's the time I'm going to free up and go have a stroke or something. We've already talked about just briefly, I think I literally just made the statement, death is a collective process, but there are no special diseases. When you, like for COVID specifically, what you have for any pandemic is just a virus or even more generally an organism in another biological organism that is dormant, right? You have some disease or strand of DNA or RNA in a pig, and it doesn't harm the pig, and it festers and mutates and changes and stays within pigs for 200 years, and then, you know, use Native Americans. People come over from Europe, diseases get introduced, and just wipes out everybody. But as the world gets more interconnected, that goes down, again, on the order of magnitudes of hundreds of thousands of years. And so, there are no special diseases. And then today is November 23rd, 2020. There was a 60 Minutes clip talking about the lasting effects of COVID as, again, some sort of special disease. The fear and excitement and hype of COVID paired with awareness and regret causes these brain fog 60 minutes, or this brain fog type experience. So just a quick personal story, I've had this. When I was in high school, I honestly think I drank alcohol. And again, drugs cause realization, experience causes realization, religious experience, shamans, taking ayahuasca causes realizations. And what happened for me is again, I to a low level I realize I'm getting tortured and I'm aware of it because I drank once or twice, and then you get stuffed back into a society and you realize how stagnated it is. You realize how no one cares about fucking anything. And you say, holy fuck, how do I get out of this? And then you can't. That was for me personally, and I have MRI studies to back this up. This wasn't like a weak thing. I mean, I paid real money, my family paid real money, I got real scans all over the place. And it's not a real disease, it's literally a state of awareness and regret. And it's because of fear. And so the other thing I want to talk about was LSD. A couple 60 minutes ago, they talked about the LSD experience where people take one experience with a psychedelic and now they're not addicted to something or they're exercising again or whatever. But it's not, these are all the same materializations of realization itself. The people who think they are fine are dying, and the people who think they are dying are fine. And I put negligence and awareness. This is a complete, correct fundamental theorem that I did not derive. I saw this somewhere on the internet sometime. And language is a defense mechanism which spreads fear. Right? We've rigorously proven that language is a defense mechanism. These people are literally just spreading their fear. Their fear and insecurity. And insecurity is 100% inoperable. If someone says, well, you might fall off the cliff, you might do this, something might happen. That's not an operative statement. It doesn't tell you what to do ever. 0% of the time. And so what you're watching is, again, people who, LSD is such a bad drug because the 60s, because people are fucking retarded and they can't think. And then they realize it isn't a bad thing, and then they go, I've just been a judgmental prick for 30, 40 years. Or for LSD specifically, I see a lot of the participants of the study say, I would never do that again. You just said you got medical benefits from something, and you would never do it again. As a way to, like, again, atone to the social expectation. Oh, cannabis is only good in medical scenarios. Oh, LSD is only good in medical scenarios. What's the difference between medicinal and recreational drug use? If a bunch of people take the same drugs for anxiety, and anxiety is just spreading fear, and again, the cells demonstrably express the ligands, which accept the cannabinoids or whatever drug you're taking, and there's no toxicity, and you feel better, and you're healthier, and then people say, well, you might be scared of this thing. They're going to stick on to that you might be scared of this thing because of this pathetic fucking society. So now let's talk about everyday pathetic behavior. So just some characteristics of everyday pathetic people's behavior. And again, 99% of the species is pathetic to the point of actively encouraging the death and suffering of other fucking people. If you think you're not a part of it, you absolutely fucking are. Anyone in the professional world, in this fucking world, is just shit. But addiction and addiction-like behavior. Insecure and pathetic people always demonstrate a lot of addictive-like behavior because they have no attention span. These are all of the people that they have an idea, they're all excited about that idea, and you say, hey man, let me know how it goes in 2 months. And you check up on it in 2 months, and they haven't thought about it since. Like I said, at a society level, it really stops people from starting businesses, stops people from having meaningful relationships, being committed to one another. But like 12-step programs, I consider these like actively fraudulent. They're teaching people that they can't change. Alcohol's anonymous, gambling anonymous, whatever else anonymous. You're always in recovery. Fuck no. Fuck no. Does that type of structure get people to stop doing detrimental behaviors in the short term? Sure. Yes. Is it good as a business model or as a societal structure for rehabilitation? Fuck no. So I genuinely consider these a problem. You got your 2-year token. Well, here's a fucking idea. Go read a bunch of fucking books. Go teach yourself a musical instrument. And when you get all frustrated because you can't fret the notes, or you get all frustrated because someone's better than you at it, that is why you have addictive behavior. That is why you're always in recovery, is because you never learn. Learning stabilizes the emotional standard of a human being. When I said rehab, prisons, and Michael Jordan, shout out Michael Jordan. Between the legs, 360 dunk. From what I've read online, old man, you're the worst fucking celebrity I've ever fucking read about. You dirty wannabe. You're the greatest. Shoot your hoops, bro. Hall of Fame. No one gives a fuck. And fuck you. Fuck you for your investments in prisons. Fuck you for stuffing people in there. Fuck you. They want you to suffer. Pathetic people want you to suffer like they think they have. I have never met a person that has actually suffered that actually competes over pain. There's pissing contests for literally everything. But people who piss over pain have never experienced anything. Period. They are afraid of being alone. How many girls out there go to the bathroom with 16 of your fucking friends? I'm not talking being lonely. Literally physically being alone. Pathetic people are terrified of being alone. They genuinely get angry at other people's hard work. I'll be covering some of this in the next section, but seriously, you work hard at something, and a pathetic person who also could work hard, they could also go sing, they could also go start a business, they could also go develop a skill set, they just get bitter and jealous. And they do it in a way, like I said, we have hijacked morality in this pathetic shithole society. So they do it in a way where it's genuinely, they think they're doing the right thing. And subsequently, they won't stand up for what is actually right. Another person, I am suing Mark Cuban. I'm criminally prosecuting Mark Cuban. He cost me, I'm big in Bitcoin, Mark Cuban cost me a depreciation of my legal Bitcoins of over $300,000 simply because he won't tell me that it's going to be another 3, 4, 5, 10, how many fucking years until someone pays me 1 penny. 1 fucking penny. While he probably, Mark Cuban, What do you spend $300,000 on a week? Just give me a list of the things you spend $300K on. Well, I want to see the jet fuel. I want to see the yacht fuel. I want to see all the fucking trips and shit, bro. While I'm burying my grandfather in the National Cemetery while I don't have human rights. Mark Cuban is the quintessential American. I'm a big fan of Shark Tank myself. Every Friday night, fired up, love the show. And then I go out and try to start a business and I get labeled as like right now today, without the publication of my research, I'm basically labeled as a pot enthusiast and a crypto enthusiast. I'm the leading scientist, economist, lawyer, all of those things. Bam! Pathetic people can't respect your hard work. They put you in a category, they brand you, and professionally. So again, we're past high school never ends, absolutely. This is my professional life. So now let's get into more of those stories. But again, 99% of the population is absolutely bona fide pathetic, will be taught in schools. 99% of the population has been fed and fucked in houses with food that has been stolen. Just taken from people who actually work hard. Because I've been doing mathematics for 4 straight fucking years. Like actually. On a daily fucking basis all day. And it's torture. It's not fun. Moving on. So now just some stories of what I call denial at face value. The first one we're going to talk about is my high school's physics teachers, Mrs. Karen Scott, and my high school math teacher, Valerie Sheritz. So we'll start with the physics story. In high school physics class, AP, because AP is the tough one, we get the old AP tests to study from and look over and get homework assignments and blah, blah, blah. Like I said, I was the best student. Loved school. Loved learning more than anyone else that's ever lived. Get this packet of information, super excited about it, and I take it home, and I realize I can solve the inclined plane with what I call tension path physics. Go watch my math videos. We'll be doing that shortly. But I solved the inclined plane problem, again, in my first exposure to Newtonian mechanics, self-derived, logical, mathematical, physical structure in about a week, honestly. And what happened was, one of these, there's two stories I want to tell about the physics. So, one day we're sitting in class and our physics teacher starts structuring a question. She starts talking about completely elastic collisions. And the way she said it, the word completely was used in the proper ontology. So I was able to solve the problem literally immediately. And it's a trivial experience, but not trivial for my mathematical development. And 30 plus witnesses. And probably, a week or two later, we're talking about friction and about, I can't recall what she said. But when I directly told my physics teacher, you need to integrate friction, or yes, you need to, like the formal integration friction because it's a variable force. And she literally shrieks. When people are in denial at face value, they will literally shriek. They will literally stop talking. She can tell that I'm right, because the concept of friction needs a lot of development. Bam, she goes into denial. Me doing physics to my physics teacher got me, again, shunned. Why? I can't believe he said something that I didn't know. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh. And now moving on to Valerie Sheritz. In high school, I had literally never smoked weed. The first time I smoked weed, I was 20 years old. 2 weeks later, I was moving real fucking pounds. Facts. And we had some homework assignment, and I was going to, again, talk about my development of what the word integration should be. And just to not be a fucking total square, the example I used was Wiz Khalifa blowing a big weed cloud. And I was going to show how to calculate the volume of gas using this example in this literally new physics. My teacher gets so fucking insanely mad that I had weed referenced. Again, I had never smoked, at this time I never smoked weed, wish I did. It makes me change my whole presentation. She literally censored mathematical discovery in math class because of cannabis. Fast forward 10 years, they said I've sold hundreds and hundreds of pounds, not thousands of pounds, but hundreds and hundreds of pounds. And Valerie Sherritt's, the only thing that I tried to present in math class was mathematics, and maybe if you fucking cunts could have listened, I wouldn't be 27 years old without any meaningful personal relationships. Dr. Brandon Mill, I don't know his first name, Dr. Brandon Mill of Dublin, Ohio. Is a psychiatrist I went to a couple times. Literally paid the dude $100 an hour for him to tell me, because I tell him I can't get a girlfriend. To this minute of this day, I can't get a girlfriend. Since I've been an eligible dater person, I don't know, 12, 13, 14, to right now today. My approach to dating is have my shit together, have a personality, have the ability to listen, have the ability to have a conversation, and genuinely try to engage another person and see what happens. I've had 0 real girlfriends at any point in my life. I've had 0, truly 0 potential to date in, like at all, in 6 years, 5 years. I'm a paying member on Tinder and Bumble. And again, I get not a lot of matches, but I do get good matches. I've had a handful of decent conversations at all. I wouldn't say good conversations, and 0 actual dates. Go into this, and this isn't high, that's today. Rewind the clock to age 19. I'm in a psychiatrist's office telling him I can't get a girlfriend. Not in like a, I don't know how to approach girls, but like literally I am like ostracized to the point where people can't find you physically attractive. Or not physically attractive, people find me physically attractive. And I'll have a rare, not rare, but a decent amount of like opportunities for just sex off Tinder. Which for me, I have 0 interest in just sex. Friends with benefits, maybe. Keyword being actual fucking friends. But go to a psychiatrist, he projects denial literally as I'm paying him $100 an hour. Robert Serino in Westerville, Ohio, he was a psychologist, again another person. I actually went to him to talk to him about the millennium problems, and they still can't directly engage my life. The denial gets to the point where you're not expecting to meet a really, really, really smart person ever. And when you do, their hard work offends you personally. My parents, my brother, all of my fake friends, all of my teachers, all of my counselors, people I pay $100 an hour to try to have a conversation with. Matt Hedden at MSU, I've referenced him in this lecture series. I've already covered my OSU teachers. But this motherfucker, go into his room, he was a math teacher, and I directly start telling him that the speed of light is a physical constant, and more importantly, a physical basis. And you can just hear this, some 35-year-old all fucking mad. Yeah, shut up, dude. I remember in your class, bro, you getting all excited about your PhD thesis. What about mine, man? What about my fucking research? What about my family's health? Yeah, dude, good thing you got mad you didn't know something about physics. And all my fake-ass friends. I'm going to restart the video, make sure I have enough time. So all my fake-ass friends. Shout out Tim, shout out Chris, shout out Matt, shout out Jimmy, shout out Ryan. I don't know, all you motherfuckers. But 2 stories I want to tell you about first watching baseball. First one, pretty just about the breadth of language. So, I don't know, my old fake-ass fucking friends, Tim, Tyler, Evan, I don't know, we're all sitting around having breakfast at first watch. Again, these are stories after this, again, a moment of physical realization is a physical thing. You go bench press 350 pounds, you have to have some amount of tension or mass to do that. For thinking, you have to develop your brain in the same exact, literally the same way. We're sitting there, these hive mind college kids, they can't think about anything besides themselves and why they're better than everybody else. They're sitting around talking about some dog shit, and I ask a question. Me, Brad, this guy right here. And literally, my old friend Tim goes, who else can get the conversation so general. And they literally start talking like I'm not physically there and I'm not the person that physically caused the change in the conversation. I'm talking denial at face value. Well, denial is selective. People can go statement by statement by statement, be reasonable, and create the completely wrong conclusion. Right? On Reddit. Yes, no. People aren't 100% in denial pretty much ever. Right? Those are your schizophrenic, like your truly delusional people in psychiatric wards. But everyone's selectively denial because of how people learn. And when no one respects me, no one's sitting there saying, oh, Brad is an accomplished professional academic. They literally pushed me out of the conversation as I'm literally sitting there interacting with them. Literally. That's what an attention span, a long-term attention span of 2 years, a medium-term attention span of 2 months, and a short-term attention span of 2 seconds gets you. Again, it's all on the basis of respect. They grew up around me. They know me. And again, these are a couple stories. A lifetime of this shit, man. Baseball. Again, fuck baseball. One of the laziest sports ever. But like I said, these are people that I'm good friends with. Not was good friends with. Not got lunch once or twice with. People I grew up with 10, 15 years of all of the time hanging out. So I played baseball with these people. Again, I never liked baseball, never liked sports, but I really like music. I put a ton of effort into my music. I have zero special sauce besides I wake up and work all fucking day at getting better at singing and playing the guitar and blah, blah, blah. But when I was playing sports, I would always just tell people I don't like sports because, again, why is grown-ass people playing games literally all day? Not like 20% of their day, literally all fucking day. But these people also slowly pushed me out of their friend group. Shout out Brennan, shout out Ryan, shout out Chad, shout out Dalton. So we had another baseball friend, TJ, who lived down in Nashville. 2 or 3 years ago, these friends go down, again, I've been doing this shit for 4 years under the most profound stress ever. They go down to Nashville and visit him. Obviously, I wasn't fucking invited. And I literally asked them, guys, next time can you fucking invite me directly? They say, yep, sure, we're sorry. And a literal year goes by, of course, get on Snapchat or Instagram, and they're in Nashville again without me. I directly asked them to be invited to this trip. Oh, right, guys, you saw those things on Snapchat. You saw me telling you to fucking do something. My grandfather is fucking dead. We had another death on my dad's side of the family. My cousin's wife just fell over fucking dead. I am literally sitting here trying to promote science that I've been doing for 20 fucking years. And people who have the attention span of 5 seconds because they come from shit families. Shit families. When you guys watch this, will be fucking funny. You'll watch these videos when it's gossip and it's public knowledge. But you've ruined my life. You ruined my life today. And so that's what to Ryan, Brennan, TJ, Chad. Fuck Chad. I'm not gonna get into that story. It's a little too personal, but fuck Chad. And again, I'm literally trying to get my family to have a relationship with before they fucking die, because you people, your families, your gossip, your bullshit has ruined my professional life. Has ruined my professional respect. I don't give a fuck about high school. I don't give a fuck about college. I'm trying to start business and run stuff. And I can't do it. I'm trying to take care of my family and I can't do it. Because of the gossip of middle-aged people that has trickled down to their fucking kids. One other story is, I had another, again, these are close friends, not people that I, again, once in a while hung out with. I also have an old fake-ass close friend that is personal friends with, family friends with former Governor John Kasich. I'm calling for the imprisonment of John Kasich. And AJ, be proud. Remember when you told me that I shouldn't post on Facebook about the law to the governor? I don't think that's going to age well, my man. I really just don't. And again, I have dead family members now. And they're going to keep dying. And shit doesn't change. So shout out to all my fake ass old fucking friends who don't study history, who don't study law, who are in medical school and law school, and again, I'm watching you be brainwashed. To the academic community who distributes this information, please pull aside the people that know me personally and just give them a little update. Tell them what I'm doing. So maybe then I will stop getting disrespected at face value by the people who've known me my whole life because they have the attention span of a fucking snail. Moving on. So I just want to finish up this lecture. And again, I can't, like I said, I'm not sad about any of this shit at all, in any fucking way. The quest for $50,000 a year. When you don't have human rights, it is the most uncomfortable shit ever. It really just is. People who knew me in high school, people who knew me in college, worlds of different stress. And no one will, again, stream my fucking songs. Shout out to all of those friends I just referenced that have Spotify and Apple Music. And like my buddy Tim. How many times did I pick your ass up and go take you to Lyft, bro? I know you would never admit it that I taught you shit, but when you're around the most functionally intelligent person ever, and the first 8 years of me doing physics was me lifting, and you're learning from me, it doesn't even qualify me. Again, I'm an actual Mac Miller doppelganger. Doesn't even earn me a couple streams on Spotify or Apple Music. You don't even have to buy it. You just have to listen to it. But that's the level of friendship that I have. And again, it's because people don't care. Friendship doesn't exist. It's a mechanism for convenience. And the funny thing is you people are going to want to be my friend whenever these people pay me. But I want to finish up this lecture here with just some politics, current events, not so current events, and history, I guess. Or I guess law. First thing I wanted to say about Edward Snowden. Edward Snowden actually released classified information that released the locations and identities of undercover operatives, I believe, might be a little wrong, that endangered them. Edward Snowden was able to find a reporter, contact them, release classified information, and receive asylum in another country. You can genuinely endanger American soldiers, American operatives, more readily than you can publish a math paper. This is the society acceptance of death. And now I want to say something about privacy. Who fucking cares? Like, honestly, like, the sentiment of the government's watching or someone could be spying on what you're doing. Anyone can have any access, because if you're not stealing my property, you can watch my internet activity all day. You can watch me check financial markets 300 times a day because I don't have fucking structured income. You can watch me swipe on Tinder an hour a day and get no fucking match, or get a couple matches and no conversations. You can watch me log on to Pornhub and wank off once a day, and I'm trying to think of like what I would care about someone else seeing me do or seeing what sites I visited. I couldn't even begin to imagine. And now, like I said, people will say, privacy, privacy, privacy. But I think in the long term, privacy, no one's going to give a fuck. Because of insecurity, because of fear. But that's just a side note on privacy. Recently, Ted Cruz, I'm pretty sure he's still an acting senator, interviewed Jack Dorsey or questioned him in the Senate, so I don't fucking know. Jack Dorsey's the CEO of Twitter. And basically the conversation was Ted Cruz was grilling Jack Dorsey about censoring someone's account. And the thing I wanted to say in general, I do believe public versus private, do it for the gram. Once you get a little fundamental slang theorem that references your business, you've biologically and psychologically entered the mind of the species for real. So I think the words public and private do get muddy now today with social media. The thing I wanted to point out specifically was, Ted Cruz's position was like what of an abomination, because Twitter is clearly the preeminent information avenue place to send out information. I totally agree, Ted. So why the fuck doesn't Jack Dorsey I guess I'm not on Twitter anymore, but why doesn't someone on Instagram or Facebook or Google promote one of my videos? You're censoring Ted Cruz, bro, you're an acting fucking senator, censoring my diction, censoring my videos, both from not promoting them from the actual videos on YouTube, and two, not saying, oh yeah, dude, what about Brad's fucking freedom of speech, or freedom of, again, protecting my constitutional rights. My discovery is directly protected in the original diction of the Constitution. But they said this is the facade. This is the pathetic society. If you're in an empathetic society, people will treat you with respect. You're allowed to get happy. You're allowed to get sad. If you're outside of pathetic society, you just sit there and work like a fucking slave. Like an actual fucking slave. My life is not actual slavery, but indentured servitude. It's pretty fucking close, if not is. And the other thing is, what is consent? Not specific to sexual consent. 18 is plenty fine for sexual consent, but it doesn't answer the question scientifically, when can people consent? What demonstrates consent for anything? Forget sex. Maybe two people want to get into a ring and have a contracted fight to the death. What's society's role in that? I don't know. I really don't know. I would say in the long term, probably shouldn't do that, but should you regulate it? Should you say people can't do that? I don't know. I straight up do not know. So consent is an idea in law that I think is very underdeveloped. And again, like when can people drive cars? When can people drink alcohol? Drinking alcohol has a more direct biological response than how would driving a car. Like, why not 15 or why not 17 or blah, blah, blah. And the real answer, the real solution, the real improvement strictly comes from education. People don't want to die, as weird as that sounds, but when you're in a group of people, you forget that, right? Big hunters want to go hunt the biggest animal. But if you change the expectations and the sexual, angsty, weird, competitive bullshit, that will diminish. And so I thought that was interesting. Political parties, patriotism, humanity has failed. The only thing I want to say on political parties is this. I don't even really care about American politics or politics in general. The point I wanted to make was socialism versus capitalism. Those are words. We are people. The thing that you can't... Socialism is capitalism with less competitors. Period. End of story. I will sue people to try to promote that. Because again, that has direct global implication, the global mindset. It affects people's, so capitalism has failed, let's go to socialism. Illiteracy. Just ignore the entire conversation from both sides. And humanity has failed. I saw Eric Weinstein recently say, everyone has their answers, but I don't think that's right. I couldn't be kidding less about this entire society will be shamed, completely in entirety. If every single day of my life was perfect from here until 54, I was directly tortured and abandoned by my whole fucking species. The whole thing. And I would still only have half of my life be decent. 54 years old. Take another 27-year-old kid and say, hey man, you're not going to feel happiness, the potential for happiness. When I'm in high school, I think maybe I can get a girlfriend, maybe I can get a job, maybe I can start a business. Fast forward to today, I go start my alcohol business and Constellation Brands openly tells me they will steal my shit. The USPTO openly changes my property, and I am worlds past them intellectually. So I've already rescinded my United States citizenship, but I'm taking it a step further. I will never step foot in this country ever fucking again. The instant that I can leave comfortably with a professional life. And again, this is all new. Like I don't hold grudges. I'm not some vengeful dude in any way. But it doesn't change the fact that people will not stand up for the basic laws, the easiest revolution ever. The lawyers have to stand up for the law. The business people have to finance decent business deals. The medical doctors have to stand up for science. The general population has to educate themselves. And nobody cares, nobody can. And past that, like I said, if there was some explanation where I was genuinely like way smarter than everybody else in a way that I'm not understandable. Being really intelligent means being able to explain yourself. People just didn't have the ability to listen
And you've literally watched another decade and a half of stagnation to the point of dead human beings. So there's no higher level of shame that exists in a historical context at all. And so, no music, I'll do everything I can to take my science away from this country. And you guys can, again, keep committing fraud, keep disseminating my information without me. I don't even fucking care. Like, it's just amazing that we're really at this point. But yes, that will be taught in schools. I will sue anybody that does not teach my life as close to indentured servitude, if not slavery, and that humanity has, again, a sex cult globally to the point where people flick their clits, jerk their dicks, compete over nothing, and then say, well, I worked hard, I deserve something else. Any other story of American history that doesn't sound like that is getting a lawsuit yesterday. Published my paper, Stop Killing Children. Shout out to all the parents of people with dying cancer. Stand up for the health of your family. And do something, just do something with your life. Give a fuck. Thanks for watching. America's a fucking shit show.